If you're watching this video, there's a very good chance that you either have not played or only vaguely remember what I'm about to talk about. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me talk about this game and sell you on it because I want you to play this. Enjoy. Let's go back. Way back.
What do you want?
Some pictures.
Huh?
Some pictures.
Okay, not that far back. Back to the early 2010s.
Once again, audience. What is it? What animal is it? Hello, once again, audience.
I was at an after-school program and they showed us a bunch of Flash game websites in the computer lab. Among one of the websites, like friv.com and miniclips.com, somewhere in that mix of joy and nostalgia was a game franchise I have fallen in love with. The game I found was Robot Wants Kitty, the first game among several entries. I started the game up and I was immediately hooked. The game opened up with a screen showing the backstory to the game, and then you were thrown in, and the title of the game is basically the plot. You're a robot, you want the kitty, that's it, that is basically the plot. I mean, there's like scrolling Star Wars style text at the beginning, but I don't have the time to read all that. Come on, I just want to get to the kitty saving action. But anyways, in the game, you start out with only one ability, or well, not really one ability, but the ability to go left and right, basic moving function. This is the way that the game blocks us off from progressing to areas we can't get to because we don't have a certain ability to get to them. You then collect a jump power-up and a gun power-up, but soon you can blast your way through enemies and climb slopes. The game also has checkpoints that are CPU modules that, in the event that you die, you get uploaded and sent to the CPU.
My name is Connor. I'm the android sent by CyberLife.
Basically, this game is what is described as a Metroidvania. Wikipedia defines Metroidvania as a genre of action-adventure video games focused on guided, non-linearity, and utility-gated exploration and progression. The term is a screw you, Wiki. Portmanteau of the names of the video game series Metroid and Castlevania, with games in the genre borrowing from both series. Which little kid me has never played a Metroid or a Castlevania, so to me this game was original as fuck! Anyways, you finally get your beloved kitty, so cute. And then the next game in the entry is Robot Wants Puppy. This game also starts out with the Star Wars-esque text that describes a complicating plot. That all the games really start out with this, honestly. But the game is basically, you're a robot. You want the puppy. I am a human. I want the puppy. But I don't have a puppy, so I'm sad. Anyways, in Robot Wants Puppy, you start with the same basic functions, move left and right, except you have Kitty! Yeah, so this game actually takes the plot of the first, where you get Kitty, and uses it, and not only does it use it, it's actually useful in the gameplay. It's a nice little gimmick. With Kitty, you make your way over and find new power-ups like the ability to throw Kitty, and use Kitty as your weapon! Which I know sounds psychotic, but trust me, this is good gameplay. 10 out of 10. What fine gameplay looks like. You can use Kitty to climb ceilings, glide everywhere. The possibilities are basically those two things, but hey, it's a kitty and he's in the game. So you use Kitty to make your way to Puppy, and then you finally get your beloved puppy. Let's say Kitty and Puppy don't really get along, but I'm spoiling that. Sorry for spoiling such a complicating plot. I owe you guys were left kidney for that. And onwards to the threequel, Robot Wants Fishy. Robot Wants Fishy is the largest game of them all, and it's a split into 4 sections. So like the map itself is split into the Bat Cave, like the supply closet area. I only really know the names of these because of the soundtrack for the thing, but like the names of them. You got the surface, you got the water section, which the water section isn't that bad, but the mini boss in the area is kind of cool, except it's kind of a bullet sponge and a little annoying, but whatever. I'm trying to get you to play the game. I'm trying to give you all the good reasons to play it, so let's just ignore everything bad. I'm kidding, but a lot of the bosses in the Robot Wants franchise aren't really the best. They're interesting. There's only really one boss I like a lot, but he's also bullet sponge. In some bosses you'll see, like with the fish boss and the underwater section, you can only hit them from certain directions, which limits how long it takes to kill them, and it makes it kind of a more boring slog. You get that in some of the other entries, but the bosses aren't that hard. It's just, takes a bit. They kind of go on a little bit longer than they should. Anyways, this game doesn't introduce a cool gimmick aside from water level stuff, but it's definitely still worth the time. You get bombs, which I guess are kind of like a gimmick because you throw them. They don't shoot straight, you gotta angle every shot. And you also get tridents in the water, so that's cool. Eventually you make your way to Fishy, and well, Kitty eats the fish. Up next is my personal favorite. Robot Wants Ice Cream. Robot Wants Ice Cream is the coolest one of them in my personal opinion. It's got a flying fortress, got a puppy in it, the works. You start out on the surface and make your way underground to get the flying power up, which doesn't show up in my footage since I'm playing easy mode in this section, and I'm playing on it for all my footage. Just shut up, I know I'm lazy, I wanted to get this stuff recorded. Anyways, you also get to use Puppy as a weapon too. But he's a separate kind of weapon for your main arsenal. I mean, you press down and you press the X button, and he kind of spawns his own little saucer-like vehicle or whatever, and he can just shoot any direction he wants, which is pretty cool because he's not limited by direction, so it's great to get enemies you can't reach. But back to the other thing, you get the flying power-up and make your way to the skies, and then you can make your way through the fortress, which that was really epic moment in the game, by the way. Epic gamer moment right there. And bam, you get to the final boss. I know I've been spoiling the game's endings throughout the video, but I want you guys to play this one for yourself to see this one, because it's got a little bit more layers of complexity to it. Which is actually surprising, because these games are basically, he a robot, he wants the thing, he gets the thing. You get the point. Up next is Robot Wants Y. Or something. This game has eluded me for the better part of the last decade. After Robot Wants Ice Cream, there weren't any more robot games released, so little kid me looked for any robot game I could find, and that's when I found a website saying that this game was a banner ad for the developer's home website. By the time I visited the website, I was sad because it wasn't up anymore. I decided to look for any reposts of the game or anything, but I got nothing to my avail. And then on January 1st, 2021, Flash died, so if there was a re-upload of it, it's likely unplayable. And that marks the end of the Robot 1 series. But wait, how do I have footage of the game? You say to yourself, totally real viewer. Well, it was a dark and stormy night. Except it was daytime, and the skies were clear. One day the developer of the Robot 1 series, Hamu Games Incorporated, decided to release all the robot games, including this one on Steam for $20. And not only that, he released a new entry to the series, the Mad Lad. So let's go over why or something real quick. In this entry, Robot collects letters. The letters are the upgrades, and they give you cool stuff like a gun that can bounce off walls and trigger buttons, which makes for a puzzle-oriented style of gameplay, which you did not really see much in my footage because I kind of gave up because this one is one of the hardest ones in the series. Like, I am being super serious right there. Like, the puzzles are, like, I'm simple gamer brain. I am Cuphead journalist, a style of gamer sometimes, and this just makes me feel like a Cuphead journalist to the IGN, I'm sorry. But anyways, for what was supposed to be a banner ad, it's a really cool experience. I do think the puzzle style gameplay is very unique for the franchise, and there's more gimmicks in store for those who play it. I haven't actually beat this one, shush. But it's still fun from what I can play. I just kind of give up because it's so hard. For me, it just takes forever, and there's a lot of backtracking to it, so that kind of slows the gameplay down. Which, to be fair, a lot of these games have backtracking, but this one has backtracking to the extreme. And with what I described is more your style, you're welcome to give it a go, as the gameplay is pretty fucking cool. Also, did I mention the developer, Hamu Games Incorporated, released a new entry? Well, while Robot Wants Y or something was reintroduced in this collection, there's a whole new game made specifically for this collection. And it shows. Robot Wants Justice. This is by far the smoothest Robot Wants experience in the entire franchise. The gameplay is just ramped up here. It's still, I still have to say Robot Wants Ice Cream is my favorite one, purely because nostalgia, but this game is pretty interesting. So you got totally not Donald Trump, evil alien enemy named Tronk, who enslaved a bunch of green alien species, and you got these dinosaur looking enemies. I really don't know if they're dinosaurs or not. And you got Tux Paint looking enemies. If anyone remembers Tux Paint, you deserve a veteran's discount, seriously. You're old. In Robot Wants Justice, you are saving these little green alien men from the evil ruler Tronk, which I kinda just said at the beginning of the sentence, but I wrote it in the script that way, so shut up and listen and buckle up. And Puppy comes back, yay! And he saves the aliens in a saucer thing, so that's pretty epic. Oh my god, he's epic twice in the script. Oh, it's so stupid. And then you also have an underground lava section. Oh, and the gameplay is cool. You get to hit enemies, slam into them, face through walls, break metal with your rockets, the works. I mean, like, slamming into enemies are like the weirdest part to me, because after playing the other games, and boom, I just slam into them and shit. And how smooth the sprite work is just much different than I'm used to, and it's really freaking cool. It's like It's like really, after you play the other ones, it's just a really smooth experience. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like if like Nitro Pepsi were a game. Instead of getting that hard, wash down flavor when you drink it, the normal soda, it comes down smoother. I swear to God, this analogy makes more sense in my head. I'm so sorry, guys. I failed you. Anyways, after you use all his power-ups, you get to the final boss, and you just beat him. It's a cloning boss, and you just beat all the clones, which is kind of a little bit of a... I swear Robot Wants Kitty had the same kind of boss. But whatever. You get the cutest end screen of all time. Like, Puppy sticking his little tongue out and stuff, and Robot and Puppy are watching the horizon staring off into the sweet purple abyss. Such a sweet conclusion to the series. Also, the game I mentioned on Steam, which I'll be linking down below, is also not only a collection of the Robot 1 series, it has a shop in which you can buy alternate layouts of the games. Easy mode, remixed versions of the levels, which is basically hard mode, skins for Robot that also sometimes give different abilities, music, the works. One particular thing that intrigued me about it was the ability to look at the history of each of the games. Now, I won't bore you with specific histories that lie in with each game, but I do have one game specifically that had a very interesting history bio written about it. Let's check it out, shall we? What I'll be reading is the whole history of Robot Wants Justice. So this is the history, word for word. This game began life about halfway through the development of Robot Wants It All, as Robot Wants a Love. It was not only a different plot, it was also going to be a stealth game, completely different gameplay. Not much of it was implemented, but I did have you sneaking past a few death bots. The plot was about Robot obtaining an emotion chip so he could feel love. Of course, in traditional Robot style, this was subverted in the end by him realizing, as he tries to install it, that he had one. It was in you all along, which makes sense as he spent the previous 3 games seeking out pets to love. So this game began when I got stuck making Robot Wants Love. I was distracted by intense rage as I learned about concentration camps my country was building just a few hours from home. The very idea that my country could do this, and that some of my countrymen openly supported this, was so unthinkable that I was just in a spiral. How did we get to this place? In the end, the only way to get back to being creative was to make an art from my anger and sadness. Just like a million stories before, it's a cartoonishly evil villain doing something so over the top, it's completely black and white. Tronk is a monster, with no nuance or subtlety, and is not meant as political commentary on any real-life figure. My hope is to remind you of simple morality. Right and wrong don't change depending on who is involved. People should not be caged and killed. I made Tronk's look and name as I did for this reason. Not to attack anyone real, but to get people to make the connection. If this action is wrong when Tronk does it, it's wrong in reality too. I know for most players this is painfully obvious, but there are still people who tie themselves in knots to avoid it. If somehow concentration camps are evil is too big of a stretch for you, I'm sad about that, but I won't debate you because it's too basic to even argue. This isn't high art, it's just punching penguins in the face for justice. Wow, that is certainly a history, if I've ever seen a history. Just completely out of left field. Concentration camps, justice. Oh my god, that was fucking hilarious. This needs to be like a copy pasta or something. I swear it needs to be. I mean, okay, I don't really want to downplay it because it is cool the creator found a way to express his feelings, his frustration, anger, and turn it into a wonderful game. But this is just hilarious. It's like kind of on the nose because at the end it's like, it's not high art. It's just punching penguins in the face for justice. Like, that is such a badass way to end that. Which, I mean, that's cool. I mean, I'm going to share the same sentiment. I mean, concentration camps are evil. I mean, I'm not going to debate you on that either. But it's just really funny, but also really cool. But also funny because it's a game where, whatever, just, if you're not... Somehow that was kind of weird to you. It's weird to me because I played the game before reading the history, and nowhere in the game did it make that super apparent, which I guess is just a testament to how good the game stands on its own, that it was derived from artistic expression. I swear to God I can speak. I mean, they made that and they turned it into something awesome. Kind of makes you wonder what else was taken from something like that and then turned into something awesome. That's just really cool, but also really hilarious. And wow. Anyways, that is a small portion of the great game that is Robot Wants It All, which is currently available on Steam for a measly $20, which I've already said like 3 or 4 times in the video. Shut up, buy it now. And some of you might use Flashpoint Infinity or some other nefarious method to illegally. Okay, I'm kidding. It's not piracy. It's flash preservation. I'm kidding. It's not bad. If you want to save some money to do that, but you won't get Robot Wants Justice, and I don't think Robot Wants Y is on there, but I haven't actually checked Flashpoint in a long time, so maybe it is. I encourage all who watch this video and think the game looks fun to drop that $20 and go at it. I described a small bit of the game, and for $20 you get a ton of enjoyment. Also, the game has a light speedrunning community with a history spanning from 2010 to now, so if that sounds like something you're into, give it a shot, you won't be disappointed. That was basically my love letter to the Robot Wants franchise. Wait, I never mentioned the music, it's so fucking cool!